Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I think it's Kiran Prabhu. Kiran Prabhu is not on the call yet, right? Let's see. Let me see. Anybody would like to read today? Because Kiran Prabhu could not join so far. If not, I can also read.
He saw the message.
Okay. Okay, let me start the reading then.
Are you driving, Prabhuji? If you want, I can read, Prabhuji.
No, Mati, today Thursday, Friday, I'm at home only.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's good. Yeah. Sure.
Actually, he saw the message. He might join, but if you want, yeah, he's there, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah, Kiran Prabhu, please go ahead if you're ready, Prabhuji. Kiran Prabhuji?
Yes, okay, Prabhu, I am
Yeah.
ready. Yeah, Hare Krishna devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances to all the devotees who joined this Zoom meeting. Thank you, Sundaranam Prabhuji, for giving me this opportunity to read today's Bhagavatam Sloka translation. Explanations of purports will be given by Krishna Venu Prabhuji. All the glories to the Lord Sri Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudharayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavata Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistikim Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today I am reading the translations from Canto 8, Chapter 2, Elephant Gajendra's Crisis, from Sloka 25 to 33. Sloka 25. The king of elephants entered the lake, bathed thoroughly, and was relieved of his fatigue. Then, with the aid of his trunk, he drank the cold, clear nectarian water, which was mixed with the dust of lotus flowers and water lilies, until he was fully satisfied. Sloka 26. Like a human being who lacks spiritual knowledge and is too attached to the members of his family, the elephant, being illusioned by the external energy of Krishna, had his wives and children bathe and drink the water. Indeed, he raised water from the lake with his trunk and sprayed it over them. He did not mind the hard labor involved in this endeavor. Sloka 27. By the arrangement of providence, O king, a strong crocodile was angry at the elephant and attacked the elephant's leg in the water. The elephant was certainly strong, and he tried his best to get free from this danger sent by providence. Sloka 28. Thereafter, seeing Gajendra in that grave condition, his wives felt very, very sorry and began to cry. The other elephants wanted to help Gajendra, but because of the crocodile's great strength, they could not rescue him by grasping him from behind. Sloka 29. O king, the elephant and the crocodile fought in this way, pulling one another in and out of the water for 1000 years. Upon seeing the fight, the demigods were very surprised. Sloka 30. Thereafter, because of being pulled into the water and fighting for many long years, the elephant became diminished in his mental, physical, and sensual strength. The crocodile, on the contrary, being an animal of the water, increased in enthusiasm, physical strength and sensual power. Sloka 31. When the king of the elephants saw that he was under the clutches of the crocodile by the will of the providence and being embodied and circumstantially helpless, could not save himself from danger. He was extremely afraid of being killed. He constantly thought for a long time and finally reached the following decision. Sloka 32. The other elephants who are my friends and relatives could not rescue me from this danger. What then to speak of my wives? They cannot do anything. It is by the will of the providence that I have been attacked by this crocodile, and therefore I shall seek the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always the shelter of everyone, even of great personalities. Last sloka, text 33. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is certainly not known to everyone, but he is very powerful and influential. Therefore, although the serpent of eternal time, which is fearful in force, endlessly chases everyone, ready to swallow him, if one who fears this serpent seeks shelter of the Lord gives him protection. For even death runs away in fear of Lord. I therefore surrender unto him, the great and supreme personality, supreme authority, who is the actual shelter of everyone. This concludes the chapter 2. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Kiran Prabhuji, for reading today's Bhagavatam section slokas translations. And thank you all for joining for today's Bhagavatam session. And thank you, Sundarana Prabhu, for giving this opportunity to share a few points from Srila Prabhupada's purport for my own purification. So we'll start with prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पश्चात्प्रदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 2, titled The Elephant Gajendra's Crisis, slokas 25 to 33. So we are in the section of this 8th canto, talks about manvantras. In the last chapter, we heard how after hearing the dynasty of Swayambhu Manu in the earlier cantos, so Parikshit Maharaj would like to know about the other Manus of the current day of Lord Brahma. So understanding his desire, Sukadeva Goswami so started narrating all the Manus of this current day of Lord Brahma. So in the last chapter, he gave details of the first 4 Manus, Swayambhu Manu, Swarochisa Manu, Uttama Manu, and Tamasa Manu. And when he is giving the details about Tamasa Manu, Sukadeva Goswami mentioned that the Supreme Lord Vishnu, so he appeared as a Hari from the womb of Harini, who is the wife of Harimeda. And not only that, he also protected Gajendra from the clutches of the crocodile. And then Parikshit Maharaj would like to know about more details about this pastime. So he asked how Gajendra was attacked by this crocodile and how he was delivered by Supreme Lord Hari, like that. So in this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami gave that pastime details. So far we saw that once upon a time, like Gajendra, we went to this lake, which is in the midst of the ocean of milk, and there is a high, beautiful mountain, so which is the altitude of 10,000 yojanas, and this mountain name is Trikuta, and in this mountain there is a beautiful garden called Rutumat, which was constructed by Varunadev, and in this garden there is a wonderful lake, and that's where the Gajendra, along with all his family members, came to this lake. So we'll continue that from slokas 25. And in this 25th sloka, so we see that the descriptions of the water in the lake. So it's called Amrita Ambu. So the water is as good as nectarian. So it's as pure as nectar. And also Nirmalam, crystal clear. So it's very clear. And it is also cold, Hema. So, and what did Gajendra do? So he drew the water from his trunk, Pushkara Udharam. And then, so he did thorough bathing. So he did bath thoroughly, Snapayan. And due to that, Gajendra was relieved from his fatigue. So, Gata Kalmaha. And this is also one nice instruction for us, like, when we take a regular bathing, so it helps to reduce our fatigue, or also it reduces our stress and it keeps one in a healthy condition. So that's why in the scriptures it is recommended for grosthas to take a bath twice a day. And not only that, this is one of the item in the section of cleanliness, because if we are cleanliness, then we are closer to the godliness. I mean, cleanliness is next to godliness. So cleanliness is also very important for a sadhaka to progress in the path of bhakti. So Prabhupada mentions in one of the purport that those who don't regularly bath, they're supposed to be in the association of ghosts and crazy creatures. So it's very much important, essential to do the regular bathing so that it will keep our physical and mental health in a good condition. And generally, the elephants, after in some of the elephants or most of the elephants, generally after they take bath, they'll come to the shore of the lake, and then they will roll in the mud or the dust. So it will become again unclean. So it shouldn't be like that. So of course, since the elephant is an animal, so it may probably like to do like that. But as a human being, we should try to maintain that cleanliness. And this is also compared practicing devotee. So who is practicing this Krishna consciousness, but at the same time, if we don't look at our other activities, so which are especially indulging in sense gratification activity, which are sinful. So like we are practicing Krishna consciousness to purify ourselves, but at the same time, if we also perform sinful activities, then there's the progress will not be so much as we expected. So that's why it is also very important, like how the elephants, after taking bath again, roll in the dust, so again become unclean. So similarly, if we indulge in sinful activities, then our progress in the path of bhakti will be not much. So that's why it's very important for us to uh, balance both of them. Like we have to progress in the path of bhakti by practicing the process that is given, chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. At the same time, also look all other activities that we are doing and try not to perform sinful activities. So in that way, our sadhana will be very impact and effective. So in the text 26, so in this sloka we see Gajendra seems to be very much attached to the family members. So being illusioned by the external energy of Krishna, Gajendra is raised from the water from the lake with his trunk and sprayed it over them. So he did not mind the hard labor involved in this endeavor. And this is compared to a human being who lacks spiritual knowledge and is too attached to the family members of his family. And Prabhupada mentions one word in this is Krupana. So who lacks the spiritual knowledge? Krupana. Krupana means miserly. And Prabhupada mentions in one of the purport that when one gets the human form of the life, then their intelligence is developed. So when compared to the lower species like animals or water body creatures or plants or trees or birds, bees, insects, compared to them. So when one gets the human life, human form of the life, then their knowledge is more, their consciousness is developed. So, but if they utilize that developed intelligence for sense gratification activities, then they're called miser. So they have to, one should utilize that developed intelligence for the best activity, the highest activity. So which is to get out of this cycle of birth and death, janma mrityu jara vyadhi, because that is dukkha dosha anudarshan. So that's very miserable and very suffering. So the developed intelligence should be used for the acquiring the spiritual knowledge and mold our activities based on that spiritual knowledge. So that's why here is mentioned, compared Gajendra's attachment or illusion by the Maya is a human being who lacks the spiritual knowledge. So that they're called Krupanas. So if we don't utilize that higher consciousness or developed intelligence for the progress of Krishna consciousness, then actually we are compared as an animal. So we are not better than an animal, because animals or the other living entities does these four activities: ahar, nidra, bhayamaitunam, like eating, sleeping, and then defending and mating. So those four activities, samanya metat pasubhir naranam. So they are same, either one is human being or animals like that. But one who has got this human form, who has this developed intelligence, if they can use the best activity to improve their spiritual knowledge, dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesha, dharmeninaha pasubhi samanaha. So if we don't utilize, then we are called, we are not better than animals. That's why Rishabhadev stresses that so one gets the human form of the life, then they should engage in austerity. Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam Suddhedyasmat Brahma Saukyam Tvanantam. So one has to be engaged in tapa, austerity, divyam, which is transcendental. So we improve our spiritual knowledge and we practice based on that spiritual knowledge our day-to-day activities, so that we our suddhed, then our senses will be purified. Yasmad, then what happens? Brahma Saukyam Tvanantam. So then we'll be situated in unlimited bliss, or coming out from this miserable Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, so birth and death. So of course in Kali Yuga this austerity is became a simple austerity only given, like we wake up early in the morning and then chant our 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and take Krishna Prasadam and be in the association of the devotees. So that's why Prabhupada says that one should not be miser. So one should not be, the opposite is Udara, very magnanimous. So, and generally a Brahmana is called Udara because he utilizes this spiritual or the higher intelligence for the progress of bhakti. So to progress in the path of bhakti yoga. So not only that, he uses this intelligence to preach others. He will give this Krishna consciousness for others. So that's why he's called magnanimous, Udara. So, and in the text 27, so Gajendra, by the in this sloka we see that Gajendra is attacked by the crocodile, who was very angry because Gajendra is disturbing the water. So this crocodile became very angry and it attacked the Gajendra. So by the arrangement of providence, Daiva Choditaha. And we see that Gajendra certainly very strong, but he tried his best to come out from these clutches of the crocodile, but not useful. So similarly, we maybe think that, I am very rich person or very strong, powerful position, or I have a great name and fame. So I will not be put into any dangerous situation or suffering conditions. Even if I was put, I will come out very easily without any challenges like that. But we cannot expect like that. We cannot think like that, because by the arrangement of providence, like if our karma is not good, then how strong we are or how rich we are or whichever the powerful position we are in, we'll be forced to go through the miserable life. So we can see in many instances, am I right, in the world, one may be very rich today, but after a few years, if it is written in this destiny that he should become pauper, after a few years he will become pauper. Everything will be gone. So one may think that I am very strong and healthy, but suddenly if he is attacked by a disease and he has bedridden, then that's it. So all his strength and everything will be gone. So that's why one should be very cautious and utilize their time for the progress of bhakti. Because we don't know what happens next moment. Bhagavatam says that padam padam yatvipadam. Every step there is a danger. So that we cannot counteract with our so-called strength or richness to these sinful reactions that we have performed in the past. The only way we can get rid of them is to practice this Krishna consciousness, bhakti yoga. Then Lord Brahma says that karmani nirdhati cha kintu bhakti bhajan. So then all our karma will be destroyed. So not only that, our senses also will be purified, and then we don't perform the activities which gives reactions. So instead we perform activities which doesn't give any reactions. Then we don't need to go through any reactions. Ultimately we escape all the miseries. Like we'll come out from the cycle of birth and death. We'll go back and back to Godhead. So that's why this process is very important and helpful for us to live in this world happy and also leave this world and go back home, back to Godhead and situate in the unlimited blissfulness. So here Gajendra tried as best as he can, but was not able to come out from that clutches. And then in the 28th sloka, we see that Gajendra, seeing his grave condition, his wives felt very sorry, but they also could not do anything because they tried, but they could not do anything because crocodiles has a great strength. So similarly, when Maya is attacked, so in many cases, those conditioned living entities who are attacked by Maya, they don't know that they are in Maya. So that's how it's very strong. Even if some people may know, because of the heavy force of these three modes, which are under that guidance of this Maya, they helplessly indulge in sense gratification. How much strength we are and whatever it is. That's why Krishna says that Mama Maya Duratyaya. One cannot cross Krishna's Maya, external energy, by our own strength or with the help of friends or family members or relatives, because they are also conditioned. So that's why Krishna says one has to take shelter of his lotus feet. Mama eva ye prapadyante mayam yetam tarantite. So if one takes the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, then they can cross the this powerful Maya. Because Krishna can make this big ocean of Maya into a small pond. Bhavam Budirvatsapadam. So he will make into a small pond. Then also he can empower us to cross that small pond also. So then we'll come out from that clutches of the Maya. Padam, 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 where every step there is a danger. And then we can go back home, back to Godhead, Natesha. So we should understand our position as an insignificant and we can't cross over this powerful Krishna's Maya with our own capacity. So understanding like that, we take shelter of Supreme Lord Krishna sincerely and whatever the process that is given by Srila Prabhupada and Guru. So we should sincerely practice it. I'm talking to myself. And in the text 29, we see that Gajendra, with all his strength, he fought not 1 year, 2 years like that, 1,000 years. And this fight, even the demigods were very surprised to see this fight. And in the text 30, and we see that Gajendra being pulled into the water for many long years, its power, its mental, physical, and sensual strength diminished. But at the same time, crocodile, being an animal of the water, its physical strength, enthusiasm, and sensual power increased. And Prabhupada mentions this is the difference. Although Gajendra is very strong because it is in a foreign place, so it is in the water, so its strength diminished because he is not getting food, and due to that, the energy is not there in the body. So due to the energy, physical strength is reducing, even its mental strength also decreases. But crocodile, being the water animal, so there is no difficult for crocodile. He is getting food and his mental strength and sensual encouragement is staying fit. So that's why the power of the crocodile is increasing and the elephant's strength is decreasing. And Prabhupada mentions that from this, one lesson we can take is we are also fighting with Maya. So we should be in a position where our strength is, our enthusiasm should be very strong so that we can give a good fight to Maya. We should not be in a position where our strength and enthusiasm is less so that we can't fight with Maya. So, and Prabhupada mentions that to keep our enthusiasm and our strength very strong so that we can fight Maya, so only way is to be in the association of the devotees. So then we can be inspired from others and then sincerely practice this path of bhakti yoga, then we can be able to fight with Maya. So it doesn't matter whether one is in brahmacharya ashrama, grihastha ashrama, or vanaprastha, or whatever it is. So if we be in the association of the devotees and mold all our activities centered with Krishna, then we can be able to fight. So Mahaprabhu also mentioned that, sthane sthita srutigatam tanuvan manodhi. Like, whatever the ashrama we are in, but if we engage our tanuvan manodhi, like, our body, words, mind, everything, in the service of Krishna, then ajito jito. Even Krishna, though Krishna is unconquerable, we can be able to conquer. So that's why here this is compared, like, because elephant is in the water, which is a foreign place for elephant. So he was not able to fight with crocodile. So similarly, if we are in the association of non-devotees, then we cannot be inspired and we cannot be able to practice our Krishna consciousness sincerely and not be able to fight with Maya. So that's why here Prabhupada is stressing that always be in the association of the devotees so that we can be able to fight with Maya. And the 31st sloka, here we see that king of the elephants under the clutches of the crocodile by the will of the providence could not save himself from a danger. And then what he did is he thought for a long time. First of all, he was extremely afraid of being killed. Then he thought for a long time and finally reached the decision. And Prabhupada mentions that everyone is struggling in this material world, struggle for existence, and try to save themselves. But sometimes we are put in the danger and unable to save ourselves. Then if one is pious, then they will take the shelter of Krishna. Sukritano Arjuna, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Sukritano Arjuna. So whoever has pious activities, when they're in dangerous position, at least they will take the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. So similarly, we see that, the king of the elephant, even though it is in the body of elephant, we are surprised to see that, it reached a decision where uh, it, elephant Gajendra wanted to offer prayers or take shelter of Krishna. So how does that can become? And thus that we will hear in the coming chapters, like, Gajendra is in the previous birth, is a great devotee of Krishna, whose name is Indradimna. He is the king, and after some time ruling the kingdom very nicely, he retired and he went to the forest and he constructed a small cottage and performing bhakti yoga. Unfortunately, when he was in meditation, one time a great Rishi Agastya Mahamuni came, and since he was not received very properly by the Indradimna, because he was in meditation, so that's why he could not able to receive. But Agastya Muni became angry and he cursed him to become elephant. Though he was an elephant body, since he practiced Krishna consciousness in the previous life, so when he took the body of elephant, he forgot the prayers that he practiced in the last life. But when he was in a dangerous position, then Krishna helped, reminded, and the prayers came into his mind. So then he started praying that. So this stresses that, we should chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly, also take some prayers of Bhagavatam and recite them every day. So due to that, so if we are not successful going back home, back to Godhead in this life, and we are forced to take another material gross body, then those prayers will help us when we are in a dangerous position, so that we can remember Krishna at that time and recite those prayers and come back to the path of bhakti again. So that is trust here. So similarly, Gajendra thought for a long time and reached to this condition. So to pray Krishna or take shelter of Krishna. So because of the practice that he has done in the past life. And now Gajendra is mentioning that the other elephants, friends and family members, they could not rescue from the danger. Then what to speak of the wives? So by the will of the providence, I have been attacked by this crocodile. So I shall seek the shelter of the Supreme Lord. So who is always the shelter of everyone, even great personalities. So one may be thinking that I can be happy by getting this a big house or big car or nice job like that. But we don't know in this material world, because it is dukkhalayam. Padam padam edve padam. Every step there is in danger. So we can be attacked by anyone. So we cannot think that by getting some material things, we can become happy and able to continue this life without any issues or like that. We don't know that. So any time any issue can come. So that's why Prabhupada mentioned the purport that an intelligent person will take the shelter of Krishna, so that he will protect us from all the dangers, and then we can go back home, back to Godhead. And the last sloka for today, here Gajendra is saying that Supreme Lord is certainly not known to everyone, very powerful, influential, and although serpent of eternal time, which is fearful in force, endlessly chase everyone. If one fears this serpent, seek shelter of the Lord. So everyone is fearful of death in this material world, most of them. So here it is mentioned that we should seek the shelter of the Supreme Lord, so that he will give protection. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritanam. So he will protect it. So one who seek the shelter of that. And when he protects, even death will run away from in fear of the Lord. So, and he is the great, powerful, supreme authority, who is the actual shelter of everyone. So Gajendra here would be able to remind these prayers, and is mentioning here that so supreme authority is the Krishna. Of course, we see in Bhagavatam that under Krishna's direction, the nature is working, all the demigods empowered to do their activities like that. So he's a supreme authority. So Gajendra is able to perceive this, that there is a supreme authority. So if we take shelter of Krishna, then he will protect us from all dangers. And then by practicing this process of bhakti yoga and being in the association of the devotees, we can purify our senses, and after leaving this body, we can go back home, back to Godhead. Tatta deham punarjanmana iti mameti suvarchana. So those are a few points that I thought to share in this session. Thank you all for joining. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.